Here we are just before the Super Bowl, and I was reading an article about it that said 100 million people will watch the Super Bowl around the world. I mean, this is an amazing event. And previous to the event itself, there was a survey that was recently done, and it was done by the Public Religion Research Institute. And they were asking people about sporting events and God. So I titled this God in the Super Bowl. Do you know what they found? I was really surprised that almost 40% of the people they polled believe that God plays a role in the outcome of a sporting event. So in other words, God's got a favorite team in the Super Bowl, and he cares about who wins. And 40% of people almost believe that. Well, do you believe that? Does the Bible say anything about what God thinks about the Super Bowl teams? I don't think God cares about who wins this game, but the Bible points out a couple of very interesting things. God does, first of all, God does care. But does he care about the winner of the Super Bowl? Here's what he does. He does care. In fact, you look at 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It says we're to cast our cares on him, our concerns, our worries. Why? Because he does care for us. Does he care how we perform in a game that lasts for just an hour or two? Or does he care about how we perform in life? You see, God, I think, is much more concerned about that. God cares more about character than he cares about winning a game. Philippians 2 tells us that he cares about the fact of who we are and what we think and the kind of person we are, that we're supposed to strive to be like Christ. We should care about who we are, and God does care about that. And in fact, he also cares about us caring about him. And so he wants us to care for him. He cares for us, and we're to care for him. He tells us very plainly, John chapter 10, verse 14. He says, I am the good shepherd, and I am known by my own. Well, do we care about God? Or maybe we know more about the game and the players and the defense and what kind of passes they're going to try, and we know more about that than we know about our awesome Creator. Well, God says, let's change our focus. Don't be so concerned about a single sporting event, but let's be concerned about who we are and who our awesome God is. That's BT Daily. We'll see you next time.